The last scene that we shot in The Man Who Would Be King was the one in which the religious sect who have captured us execute Sean by making him stand in the middle of a rope bridge over a deep ravine and cutting the ropes to send him plunging to his death hundreds of feet below. The bridge was a very unstable affair, handmade by the locals, and I'd come there the day before with Sean to have a look at it. I had only managed to get a little way out on the swaying bridge before vertigo overtook me and I retreated to the safety of the top of the ravine. Sean had gone out further than me, but then of course he was the one who was going to have to do the scene. However, even he did not manage to get right to the middle as the bridge swayed dangerously in the wind. So finally, there we were ready to shoot the scene, and Sean had to go right out to the middle of the bridge this time. We were all quite tense, particularly Sean of course, and even John was a little worried, I could see. Not a customary emotion for him, being a man of immense personal courage. There was a long silence as we all surveyed the swaying and suddenly flimsy-looking structure. This silence was suddenly broken by Sean. "I was here yesterday and the bridge looked okay," he said with some trepidation. "But today it seems to be leaning over to the right." John looked at Sean for a moment, a twinkle in his eye. "The bridge is exactly the same as it was yesterday, Sean," he said. "The difference today is that you have to walk out on it, so you're looking at it from a different point of view." Sean glanced at John for a moment, accepted the challenge in his eyes, and without a moment's hesitation, walked straight out to the middle of the bridge. In this scene, Sean has to sing as the priest cuts the ropes, and this he did as the first phony ropes were cut, and then he came off the bridge, visibly relieved. His place was taken by a wonderful, really experienced British stuntman called Joe Powell, who was going to do the actual drop when the ropes were cut. I looked over the edge of the ravine, and a couple of 100 feet below I could see the mound of boxes and mattresses that were to break his fall. It looked about the size of a postage stamp. With the wind blowing and the bridge swaying as the axes cut the real ropes holding it, we all stood there watching, frozen with nerves, as it dawned on us that to leap off this moving platform and hit the target so far below was an almost impossible task. My heart was thumping as I watched, and I wanted to shout out and stop the stunt, but the final rope split, the bridge collapsed, and down Joe went, hurtling towards the jagged rocks below, manoeuvring himself all the time as he plummeted and as the wind tried to drag him onto the rocks. At the very last minute, he straightened himself out and hit the centre of the mattresses. An audible sigh of relief went up, immediately followed by a great cheer as we saw Joe get up, uninjured, and make his way towards his assistants at the side of the mattresses. John was not an impressionable man, nor one given to saying easy compliments, but at that moment he turned to me and said, "That is the darndest stunt that I ever saw." The film was finished, and I instantly felt a tremendous pride that I had been in it, and I was right. I think The Man Who Would Be King is one of the finest films in which I have ever appeared, and one that I think will last long, long after I am gone.